outside of, let's say, your garment tracking and your general runs and
Yeah.
and you're hitting the gym now, correct?
Mhm.
For like what, like 1+ years approximately, like you've been like working out.
Slightly over a year, man.
Okay.
Yeah. So, so here's what I truly believe, okay?
Hmm.
I feel like any human, any body type, okay, if you're trying to lose weight, the best way to do it is cocaine.
Cocaine.
Yeah.
Well,
So,
you heard it here
listen, man, I'm not.
first.
Yeah, absolutely.
Cool.
And if you want to combine the two, like running and cocaine, I feel like that's a thing.
Sorted.
Yeah.
So I think that's great. Thank you on this segment. Moving on to the next one.
White walkers.
So white runners, you mean?
Everything is private. Don't follow me anywhere. Thank you very much.
We are live. Welcome back to Informal. This is the Informalist podcast on Instagram, and I am your host, Shormal. We have another veteran from the show back here. This is Running Man, also known as, what's your real name, sir?
Abhiraj.
Uh,
Thapar.
Abhiraj Thapar, right here. Everybody. So welcome back again.
Bro,
Yes, please.
I think you should get headphones. You know, like Joe Rogan does.
Right.
Because I just realized I spoke over you.
And that's a very good point, because we're trying to avoid that and trying to make this like a legitimate podcast.
Joe Rogan isn't?
uh, I mean, Joe Rogan is, and we call him Joe Baba here.
Yeah.
So we do want to get to that level. I actually have headphones here. I even did it in the start, but then I thought I got all these fancy, like huge microphones, as you can see, right? So I just thought that maybe we could wing it. But yeah, okay.
So you had only like only one Bluetooth connection, like you ran out of Bluetooth connections.
I had
Like, headphones नहीं हो सकते यार.
Pause. Please go back to the episode 2 years ago, which came out with this man right here, which is exactly what we did. But there was one microphone, and I plugged in the headphones, and I was like, yeah, sound is good. And we did it like in a completely different place upstairs.
No, that's not all. That's not all you said. I didn't even have headphones on.
You did
and
not.
You're like, can you hear me?
Like maybe.
And you were talking into this mic, and I'm like,
Yeah.
I'm next to you, and I don't have anything on, so I mean,
Yeah.
I can hear you.
And here we are now. You see how time changes everything.
Yeah. Now we got 2 mics.
We got 2 mics. We're killing it, and we got 2 angles also. Camera, say hi.
Let's go.
Say hi. Let's go. So yeah, like I mean, I think one step at a time.
Yeah.
Kind of how we progress in life, as well as on the Informal with Shormal show, also known as the Informal show now.
Yeah.
Also known as the Informal podcast. So we just go by Informal.
Okay.
So that's what we're trying to do, right? Be informal.
Yeah.
We lose.
No, wait. So which one is it though?
It's the Informal show.
Okay.
Everywhere where podcasts stream.
Okay.
But on Instagram, because I couldn't get that name,
Yeah.
it is the Informalist podcast, which, as you are aware, since he's a repeat guest, this is the informalist place in the world, and I'm the informalist man in the world.
Yeah.
Right?
So sorry about the polo, man.
Nah, it's all good. I've taken to the streetwear life.
Yeah.
And the whole point of it is I want to at least look a little bit comfortable, so that you feel a little bit comfortable. I don't know if it's doing that.
Sure.
But yeah, आजकल साउथ दिल्ली में ये ट्रेंड चला है, ऐसे ढीले ढीले कपड़े पहनो.
Streetwear.
हाँ, जो 90s में मतलब हम ऐसे ही पहनते थे, और हमारी माँ हमें चप्पल से मारती थी कि क्या नन्हे लग रहे हो.
Yeah.
But yeah, this is kind of the way it goes now.
Yeah, dude. I used to steal my dad's denims.
Nice.
Because back then you saw.
Yeah, that's well.
You saw all those pictures of Biggie Smalls and Tupac wearing those
baggy
suits.
Yeah.
And they look god awful, dude. Like now when I look back, like I don't know what the hell I was thinking.
I like them.
I got into trouble all the time because my pants
baggy
would be baggy in school. So
you be sagging. Hey,
yeah.
Let's go.
Yeah, and they were always a couple of sizes too big for me, and because I was a bigger kid, it was easy for them to sort of sag.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. Another like fat boy thing that I too see from time to time, because weight fluctuate होता रहता है, is shirt को ना ऐसे ऐसे करते हैं, like this okay.
Yeah.
गैंडे लौंडे यही करते हैं ना.
Yeah.
Which I think is good. So गैंडे लौंडों की बात छोड़ के, now that you're this fit guy, and people could probably like go back to the other video and see where we introduced you on and shed light on your work, where you were basically the inventor of the meat smoker, one of the first meat smokers in India, where he smokes like dal makhni and chicken and humans also now, right?
Sure.
So yeah.
Sure. Okay, so first things first, I have not invented the meat smoker.
I understand that.
I have. I'm so far from inventing it.
You heard it here first.
Yeah,
right?
yeah. Oh, yeah. So it was actually one of the first forms of curing food so that you could preserve it through the year, right?
Hmm.
And it's a way to dehydrate your food and all of that. But um, yeah, I just couldn't find a company that was selling it here,
Hmm.
or even if they did, it was exorbitant because of the custom duty and all of that.
Right.
And it's a really basic principle, right? It's just an inlet, an outlet, and food in between, um, with a source of wood
Yeah.
at the inlet. And I just designed a fairly basic one, and um, very it was a very rudimentary engineering, but yeah, man, it looks great. It's called a vertical smoker, where you can sort of stack 4 or 5 layers of food,
Right.
and yeah, it just gives you a lot more surface area.
Right. That is kind of the layout of the system. But essentially, what it does is it gives you the power to serve like or like 4 to 5 people and give them the time of their life.
Bro, I could way more,
Oof.
way
Damn.
more, like 50 people.
Whoa.
Okay, actually, wait, maybe 20, 25 people easy. Like,
Okay. You
yeah,
heard it here first, guys.
yeah,
And since you didn't invent this wonderful product,
yeah.
and I've gone out and kind of like shot the guns, I'm going to take credit by saying that it was the first time here in India. I don't see other people using that meat smoker, or at least when the podcast was being recorded. So this is kind of the instance where there
I
is.
do know one person actually.
Okay.
I might know two people actually.
Sure.
So shout out to do you know H Man the restaurant?
I love H Man.
Yeah. So the founder of
Shivalik is where it's at. It's down the road with
yeah,
plants.
yeah, 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 yeah. And
Great
I think
place.
now they have another place,
Right,
right?
right, right.
So
Great stuff.
so I had a chance to speak to the founder. I think his name is Harman, and he probably doesn't even
Sure.
remember me because it was just one dinner.
Right.
And he was telling me about how he fabricated his own smoker.
Damn.
So he was one person who I think definitely did it before I did. And there's another place there used to be this other place in Scenic Farm called Smoke Trailer Grill.
Got it.
And you're going to see the longest offset smoker. So, you know how what I've made is a vertical smoker, which
Right.
is one on top of the other. The barrel laying sideways, uh, or multiple barrels laying sideways, that you see in a lot of like videos about Texas and all of that.
Right,
So
right.
those are called offset smokers.
The Traeger grill ones, right? Like
Yeah, yeah,
nice.
yeah. Although I think Traeger grills are electric,
Got it. Yeah,
electric
I
pellet
think
feeders,
they do a little bit of everything if I'm not wrong.
maybe.
But yeah, one in the same. तो इंडिया
Yeah,
में मतलब ये लोग कर चुके हैं, but you were there kind of at the helm of like that start. So
yeah,
this is basically like something that I've seen, and I'm sharing with my audience also. Kind of mishaps or mess ups where you're kind of in the right, but you may also be wrong. So at this point of time, it's just like it's like me using instant coffee. मैं specialty coffee
Hmm.
पीता हूँ, specialty coffee with
Yeah,
shawarma is the thing. But I'm not gonna lie, मैं instant coffee अपने बहुत सालों से पी रहा था. So me
sure.
like saying that it's garbage
Yeah,
is completely wrong. I think people who drink it, it's completely fine to do the same. And this
sure.
is what we call a mug shot moment. So here's the mug. Hold it. Give us a side profile. Give us a side profile of your face. This episode is brought to you by Something's Brewing, India's leading e commerce specialty coffee and retail venture. This organization is doing some great stuff for home brewers, especially like myself. For example, I was able to get anything and everything from a 100 rupee category to a 100,000 rupee category for anything to do with coffee on this very platform. Anything from coffee packets that contain whole beans or coffee powder, all the way up till fancy commercial espresso machines that can make at least 100 people drink on the regular. So, what you can do is you can log on to somethingsbrewing.in and use my code informal to get a 5% off on pretty much any coffee product in this website. What you can also do is you can look at the link in the description and utilize it to claim this 5% off on anything to do with specialty coffee, including the recommendations that I tend to give on all my social media platforms. So go on to somethingsbrewing.in and get yourself some kick ass coffee gear. That is the mugshot element of this podcast. Boom. Let's move ahead to our next segment. Thank you for sharing that, by the way.
Cheers, dude.
And this is for anyone in the realm of their youth when they're moving towards different relationships in the employment uh, phase of their lives, right? At some point of times, I've been an employee, I've also been an employer, and there are these weird kind of like relationships or like stories that come out of it, and we call this segment recruitment rage. So, is there some instance of your life where you think something like weird stood out, either when you were doing a certain job, a weird story where a boss treated you in a random sort of way that is completely unnatural when you tell your friends or family, and or is there some instance where you were hiring someone and an employee did something weird?
Dude, so even what I do now, I feel like I'm a boss and an employee constantly.
Right. Okay.
Because uh, I'm a marketing consultant, if I had to broadly put it, right? So I have my own vendors who work for me, but to my clients, it's they're
You're the
always
face.
I'm the face, right?
Right.
And I do certain things of the work. So, um, but if I had to tell you something that I don't like, wow, bro, I feel like in this start, wow, the thing is, I'm trying to say the right thing without sounding too whiny. You know
I
what I mean?
understand that.
You,
Let me give you a little bit of insight. So for me, this is a hilarious one. Maybe this will get your engines going. Where one of my bosses in this very country basically had like his team gather up, and he was like, whoever goes to the washroom, he's a he's a punk. He's a pudu banda. And what that really means is this dude was like hammering away on the keyboard. They don't make him like this anymore, by the way.
yeah,
8 hours, and his biggest flex was that he doesn't get up for like washroom too. He's just too busy making deals and cracking, which I think is toxic
right.
hustle
Yeah,
work
toxic
culture.
productivity.
Or some people, मतलब असली बंदे will say macho man. So I was like, okay, I don't know what the flex was, and the reason also, like I bring it up is because जो bathroom है ना, वो bathroom बड़ा टूटा हुआ था मतलब हमारा. So he kind of made it like this thing to like not fix the bathroom by saying that like this is kind of the way things are, and then everyone else was like aping it, and मतलब
Yeah,
पांच छह बंदे थे who were like fucking doing calls and like sales and stuff, and they're like, yo, we don't pay. So I'm like, all your bladders are dead. This is gone.
yeah,
This is crazy.
that's wild,
Yeah.
dude.
I,
Okay,
it's
so
not the case anymore, so thank God for
so
that.
that's your case.
Yeah.
That was your problem as an employee, right?
Right.
Let me tell you a problem I've had as an employer.
Okay.
And what I've done to sort of fix it, it's really helped me,
Mm.
right? So if I'm looking for someone from a specific role, right?
Mhm.
I'm giving you a small example. People in in India are often confused between they get sales and marketing mixed up.
Yes.
So someone with a sales experience will always apply for like a marketing role.
Yes. Oh my God, this happens so much. Oh
So much.
my God.
So one thing that I always try to do, and initially I had to sift through hundreds and hundreds of resumes, right?
Right.
And now I just have the simplest, most open-ended assignment that I give to them,
Okay.
and it's open-ended. I just tell people to sort of try and craft what they would do if they were in my position, and it could
Right.
be a campaign, an online campaign, or whatever. And I just give them a day or two, and
Let ChatGPT do the rest.
well, here's the thing: a lot of it is creative work as well.
Right.
You know,
Right.
like creating campaigns, like things that ChatGPT won't do.
Right.
So here's the thing: if 200 people have applied, 150 aren't even going to do that assignment. Okay, so that's like 150 resumes less that I have to
The
go
prospects are less. Yeah.
through. And out of the 50, there's going to be 10 that are worth looking at, and out of those 10, there's going to be three that's in your budget,
Mhm.
and suddenly out of 200, you have like three resumes to go through. So
Nice. So
so
then
yeah,
you funnel it down basically.
absolutely, man.
Nice. Nice. Well, Yeah, very interesting, because the same thing happens since I've shared on the show also that I come from, since recruitment is sort of
Yeah.
what I've been doing for a while now, right?
Yeah.
That's kind of where the thought process also started. And sales and marketing, the problem is like the hotel industry looks at like a department of sales, and then yeah, they just like
For the
tack along marketing with it, which is so not the case. Marketing is a whole other beast in general,
Yeah.
as we are all aware of. And then you have, yeah, like what you're talking about, like if someone has to make online I don't know, marketing campaigns, or they're using Google AdWords or what have you, right? That's
Yeah.
like it's basically a technical job only to some
Yeah.
extent, and it is so not the same as sales.
Absolutely.
But it just gets like tagged along there. So
Yeah.
yeah, nice. I think that's a pet peeve, and I see you on a personal level there as well, so kudos to you on that, man.
Cheers, dude. I feel like marketing sounds like a step above
Yes.
sales.
Yeah.
So it's like if it's, and salespeople are normally really dejected, right? Because there's so much
Rejection there.
rejection,
Yeah,
right? So they're like, नहीं, आप marketing manager भी हो.
yeah, flex. Yeah, there we go. हाँ,
Yeah.
सही है, बढ़िया.
And
ऐसे ही
like
चलता
they
है.
slowly wipe away their tears. Marketing भी करता हूँ मैं. ठीक है.
दिस इज काइंड ऑफ लाइक मैं भी वो भी कर लेता हूँ. सह लेंगे थोड़ा,
Yeah.
कट कट जाएगी.
Yeah.
That's another good case of what it looks like, but it really isn't, right? And that kind of brings me to the next segment of the show, which I've kind of enjoyed a lot. And this is because जब मैं अमेरिका में होता था, so this whole phenomena of a lease based lifestyle was very common there. हर चीज को EMI पे डाल दो, लीज कर लो. तो मतलब न्यू मनी बंदा जो होता है उसको ये होता है कि मतलब टेक्सास में एक देयर इज अ टर्म कॉल्ड 30K मिलियनेयर, कि जेब में सिर्फ 30,000 बट लेंगे पूरी सबसे महंगी ट्रक.
Right.
So that's where this segment came up, which is the lease or buy segment. So I want to ask you if there is a certain asset that you would rather lease or buy. I tend to make it very simple and ask, let's say, if you come into some money and you want to like invest in a car, would you outright pay the full amount for that car, or would you lease it over a stipulated period of time?
Okay, so again, that's the answer to that would depend on where I am financially in my life.
Fair.
That being said, like right now, if I had to pick an option,
Yeah.
I would definitely pay in actually probably anywhere down the road, I'd just pick installments, right? Because if I don't have to do away with that money,
Yeah.
that's just extra liquidity that I have.
Right.
So I would much rather have that and probably like a shorter payment term or something like that.
That's a sensible way of looking at it. I think India is also like, and from the like a vehicles perspective, they are also introducing like these sort of lease a car models. Like I know Renault's doing it.
Yeah.
I heard Ankur Variku talk about that and how he pays like X amount, and then it's like not your headache from an insurance perspective and all.
Yeah.
I feel that I would, if I just come into some money,
Yeah.
like I would just downright pay the asset and not deal with it. Like I can say that like I think our father's generations, they kind of work on that model. I don't know about yours, but my dad loves to like just pay out and not have that headache. He used to in the middle, like you're right, it kind of depends on where you are in life. But personally, I would rather just like if like I'm an up and comer right now, if I have that liquidity, मैं pay off करके खत्म कर दूंगा वो. Like that's kind of not what it is. And
And is there a reason? Like
the reason is because I don't like to have that headache. So I then thought that this is a good segment to ask. Like a car is a heavy asset, right? So completely understandable if you kind of break it down. What is the lowest number of money you'd pay for a certain, let's say, product in installments? Like I know certain people, and the crowd is gonna go insane when they're hearing this, who take EMIs out on t-shirts.
Right.
Now that to me sounds bogus. That's crazy. And
Yeah,
that's why I wanted to start this out, because the fad is very new here. Like credit based lifestyle India में अब भी शुरू हुआ है.
Yeah.
So that's why I wanted to understand like ये weird मतलब जो consumer behavior है, like how low would you go to like lease something, and
I can
also
tell you the lowest.
why the reason is like what really irks me. So yeah.
So I can tell you the lowest EMI that I've done,
Okay.
which was an air purifier that I think
You
set
took
me
it-
back like 10,000.
Oh, okay. Also it's like one of the fancier ones.
I'd say it was somewhere in the middle.
ठीक
It
है.
was, it was all right.
Okay.
And I still have it. And it took me 6 months to pay that off because this was a couple of years ago, man. And
Oh, but then that would probably mean like COVID time, right? So
yeah. Yeah.
But also
and
like where we live, it's a necessity. So I think that's
Absolutely.
completely justified. So around the 10K mark, which I think is a good mark. Yeah,
Yeah.
like that's like what $200, not 200, like $150 or so.
I have
Mota
no
mota.
idea, man.
Roughly, if we look at it like
Yeah.
way, and I think that's a good mark. Underneath that, like that's kind of where I like to ask people, like, would you do it on like a pair of like day-to-day products like earphones or something like that? Because I personally don't, even though
Yeah.
like I know it's completely like different in terms of who you ask,
Yeah.
but I also feel that the answers that we get from this segment probably in the future
Hmm.
will paint an interesting picture about sort of the economy of our country in general and people's
Here's
manpower.
here's the thing though. Here's the thing though. I feel like you and I have fewer um, fixed expenses every month,
Right,
right? So like you and I don't pay rent.
that's correct. Like a lot of other people probably watching this podcast.
Yeah, they probably do, right? Like
Hmm.
you and I probably don't have to worry about groceries and like a lot of other miscellaneous expenses.
Right. What I had to when I was in the States, I was paying all these things out of pocket. That's why like
Yeah.
there was a change in my sort of buying strategy as a consumer.
And I'm sure you would have been way more open to like installments, right?
Yes,
Because
yes, correct.
you feel a lot better slicing a little bit of it off. And
Sliced everything. I had a Tesla for a couple months just
did
because
you like lease it?
I leased it. Yeah.
Okay, nice.
Just for a little bit, and then I completely got rid of it, and I just started like doing this shared ride service kind of thing to commute to work with another dude with a Tesla, and it was literally the same. I faced no like difference in kind of where I was as a consumer or in my lifestyle or whatever. And yeah, I was pretty happy with it also. So yeah, that's the
Right.
whole point. Like there's thoda pehlu hai sikko ka,
Yeah.
which I wanted to bring to light.
Yeah.
But yeah, very interesting. So talking about the next segment, it's a little bit to do with wellness. You happen to be an individual who's into entrepreneurship, into multiple lines of business. You created a vertical meat smoker, which can then be utilized for, I guess, some sort of like health based cooking as well. And over and above that, I think you're also not just because your YouTube username is Running Man,
Yeah.
but you're also someone that I've known for a while who has run multiple marathons.
Yeah, dude.
And
actually not marathons, half marathons.
half marathons, but I have seen you clock in a good amount of kilometers, which really scares the living crap out of me.
Yeah.
And I hope to get there at some point of time. But until we get there, I'm gonna let the master here speak. And you have this funky. What is this watch? Is this a Garmin?
Yeah, dude, it's a Garmin. It's funnily enough, it was the first watch
Okay.
that I ever got.
Okay.
And yeah, just helps me. So in terms of tracking your runs, if you're ever running a virtual run, most um, athletic bodies uh, that are hosting the marathon, they'll take a timing if it's from a Garmin
Okay.
or like
Oh right, I
an
see.
authorized app, right? So like
Right.
generally like Garmin's are really
It's like the what I'm trying to
the gold
use. It's
standard
the gold standard of like measurement, basically,
Yeah.
right?
of like
Gotcha.
yeah, measuring your speed and your distance and all those things.
So I think it goes without saying that you're taking your lifestyle, your wellness seriously. If our viewers go back to our earlier podcast, they'll probably be able to see that you've also worked on like strength, core conditioning, definition in terms of like just your general physique as well.
Yeah.
And I was maybe a couple of pounds lighter in the last one. And then I'm sort of like I've been stagnant in where I'm at, and you obviously know that about me as well. But I'm trying to like now take it up ahead. In fact, like when I start rolling with the podcast, I think it helps me also kind of like align myself mentally and then move towards the physical realm. So wellness, tell yes. That's the name of this segment. So wellness, what you're really into, tell yes. Please tell us what you're really doing, and specifically what it is that maybe like regular folks who are in the sort of day to day run of life 9 to 5 के बाद फिर वो सुट्टा ही मारते हैं और फिर मतलब जॉइंट लगा के मस्त चीटोस पेलते हैं लाइक उन बंदों को भी कुछ ना कुछ तो करना चाहिए राइट
Yeah.
बिकॉज अब मेरे साथ ऐसा हुआ है लाइक I'm nearing 30 now.
Yeah.
And you can tell by my voice, it's I'm not at that same virality as I was when I was even like bombarding these episodes a couple of years ago, right? I had like week after week.
Yeah.
You remember, like the timeline was crazy.
Yeah.
And they were audio episodes, but like we were able to do a lot more output.
Right.
So,
I remember.
So I think prioritizing my health is something I'm personally also doing.
Yeah.
Outside of, let's say, your garment tracking and your general runs and
Yeah.
you're hitting the gym now, correct? For like what, like 1+ years approximately? Like you've been like working out
Slightly over a year, man.
Okay.
Yeah. So here's what I truly believe, okay? I feel like any human, any body type, okay, if you're trying to lose weight, the best way to do it is cocaine.
Cocaine?
Yeah.
Well,
So
you heard it here.
Listen, man, I'm not done yet, okay?
Please.
And you don't just like stop at a little, okay?
Right.
You do it till you start seeing sounds.
Seeing sounds.
Yeah, and then you basically lock yourself in a bathroom and you shiver and cry yourself to sleep. And basically don't eat.
Right.
And yeah.
Oh, because it kills your appetite,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Ah, okay. Yeah, that makes a lot of sense.
I'm just messing with you, but I'm not trying to be preachy about like what to do about fitness.
I think this whole cocaine bear syndrome sounds great. I think I'm gonna try it out also, actually.
Great.
And any of the listeners who have a good connect, you can first subscribe to the channel, and then in the comments maybe leave the plug's name, right? Or phone number, whatever. So don't forget to hit the like and subscribe, but that's the real cocaine hit. Am I right?
Sure, man.
Moving ahead here, please tell us now about what you were really trying to say.
Honestly, bro, I don't think I'm in any position to be like giving people gyan about how to like take care of their health. Something that works for me is running, and I'm really cautious of not sounding like those annoying runners who tell other people going through stuff, you just need to go for a run. That's something that works for me.
Okay.
And yeah, just try to hit the gym and listen, man, like there's a bunch of stuff that I wish I did differently. Like my sleep is terrible. But I feel like whose isn't, right? I almost don't trust the people who get like really good sleep.
बाप के पैसों पे जीते होंगे ना.
I just feel like they're psychopaths.
No, I agree.
I don't have to be a psychopath if you can just sleep.
I've been tracking my sleep a little bit, and I see some blue, but yeah, like it average 5.5 तक ही आती है. Like उससे ऊपर, I don't know.
5.5 hours of sleep?
Yeah, I know it's around 6, maybe 6 to 7.
Oh, yours is way worse than mine then.
You're getting like 8?
I'm getting like 7-ish.
7-ish is very good, yeah.
Yeah.
I am trying to work on my stress taking capabilities.
Yeah.
That's a cortisol level is tracking up, and that's again one of the reasons I thought not only will I learn here, but also from folks who are kind of like, they're not like the Olympic athletes on the TRS show or whatever. They're regular folks who are maintaining a balance, and that's the reason I asked, because I think you're the one who basically told me that at least when I dropped from 87 to 77 kilos in about 2021, that's a different thing. I put it on little back here and there, but I think that was at least at the peak, and I wasn't trying at all. I think you saw me in that phase also. I really wasn't trying to like lose the weight, but what happened is I think it was just about the consistency. You told me to get like a 500 rupee pair of shoes, and what were they, like the canvas ke joote?
Canvas shoes, yeah.
So I think you were the one, and I'll give you full credit there. And people need to know, जितने भी आपके पास पैसे हैं, कोई फर्क नहीं पड़ता. बंदे ने मतलब 500 भी नहीं, मतलब 100-150 रुपए के जूते में मेरे को शुरू करा दिया था. मैं गोल्ड स्टार के पहन रहा था, कैनवस नहीं, मैं गोल्ड स्टार पहन रहा था. एंड आई मस्ट हैव क्लॉक्ड इन सम सीरियस माइलेज देयर. मैं उस टाइम ट्रैक नहीं कर रहा था, बट इट वाज जस्ट लाइक दे वर रियली गुड, मतलब खुले खुले थे, एंड इट जस्ट गॉट द बॉल रोलिंग. एंड माय होल पॉइंट वाज कि अब जिसमें जो भी मतलब मार काट हो जूतों में, मेरे को फर्क तो पड़ता नहीं है क्योंकि सस्ते इतने हैं, तो मतलब just keep beating them up. So yeah, I think that like inadvertently you gave me some advice there, and
cheers,
I think like start with the cocaine, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
Cool.
And if you want to combine the two, like running and cocaine, I feel like that's a thing.
Sorted.
Yeah.
So I think that's great. Thank you on this segment. Moving on to the next one.
White walkers.
So white runners, you mean?
Yeah. Nice.
Oh shit, that came on. That is, ये clip हो जाएगा. That's getting clipped. Let's go. Oh shit, dude. That's yeah. I'm gonna need a minute to recover from that. I was just gonna say that my wellness setup is my coffee setup. That's
Right.
what I use, right? To kind of like get an unnecessary advantage because I mainline really high quality coffee, and that's basically like my hit, so to speak.
This show is brought to you by somethingsbrewing.in, India's leading e commerce specialty coffee ecosystem. This organization will get you anything from a 100 rupee South Indian filter coffee brewer to a 100,000 rupee commercial coffee brewer. Now, I have had the luck for utilizing this website not only in my early days of the specialty coffee journey when I was a home brewer, but later on also when I got a little bit more experienced in my coffee journey brewing espresso. So to give you an example, I used to brew manual brews with a pour over or something on the lines of a French press, which you can pretty much see in and around you. There's a lot of funky stuff behind me as is viewable. Over and above that, what I remember in this journey where something's brewing came and kind of made my life a little bit easier right off the bat was I had a call with one of their in-house coffee experts, and I told them that, hey, I'm on my journey, I'm trying to move towards espresso. What really matters to me is that my espresso workflow, because there's a little bit of cleanup involved, as you can see. I want to kind of cut that time short. तो डेली बेसिस पे अगर मैं जैसे कप बना रहा हूँ, आई वांट टू इन्वेस्ट अबाउट 10 minutes tops. उससे ज़्यादा it's too much yet. You have to rush to work like I have to right now. So what they ended up doing is they told me, hey, you keep your coffee machine the way it is. Do some modifications here and there if you require to get that best cup. But what you really need to invest in is a coffee bean grinder. Now, I've spoken about this in my content in the past as well. A coffee bean grinder can drastically change your coffee journey, as it did for me. I used to utilize this hand bean grinder, which was very helpful, still is, gets the job done. But number one, this force one has to put every morning is too much, even for someone like myself. And I realized that I should go for an automated grinder. And this is from a company called Budan. The grinder is right here. Right here, you can see it. It will grind anything for manual brews all the way up to espresso. And this is an in house coffee brand made by Something's Brewing itself. They not only make their own in-house coffee brand products available, they make brands from leading companies like Fellow, A1Z, right off the bat, even something like a La Marzocco, 3-4 लाख रुपए की चीजें जाती हैं ये. So you can really trust them because they will get you what you want from wherever you want. And their bottom line is that they just want to help more coffee brewers make better coffee, pretty much on the same lines as myself. And that's why I partnered up with them, and we've had this wonderful kind of ecosystem that we've built out. So you can log on to their website by using the link in the description down below and get a 5% off on any coffee product. I would say if you're new in your coffee journey, just start out by getting a simple coffee packet. You can get Monsoon Malabar double A certified coffee made in India for Indians, for the world, by Indians. The reason I say for Indians is because now more Indians like myself are consuming this good coffee. Just get a bag. It doesn't even matter which roaster you're getting it from. And you can find all these available options on somethingsbrewing.in. So don't forget to use the code informal. Easiest, just use the link in the description down below and knock yourself out. Thank me later. Back to the podcast.
So wait, I have a question though. Is the coffee making the hit or is the drinking it the hit? Like, what is it for
I
you?
think now it's become a little bit of both. Initially, it used to be the preparation, but अब उतना time नहीं रहता मेरे पास to like pull like a 15-minute espresso shot like on the average. But now it's become like a ritual for meditation, at least like once or twice a week. I think now that, like I said, I'm nearing my 30s also. Uh, I have friends who had kids and stuff, as I'm sure you have as well, right?
Yeah.
So like it's just become this kind of like a nice ritual to meet, talk, and also like just like not talk sometimes, de-stress, just like enjoy the aroma and tune out.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's kind of the long and short of it there.
Yeah.
Moving to what I'd say is sort of the deeper end of the podcast. This is usually where we want to understand a little bit about you and about what's happening in your life. Is there something you're excited about? Are there some links you want to plug? Are there some pages you want us to visit? And take it away.
Absolutely not. My Instagram profile is private. My LinkedIn is private.
Boom, boom, boom. LinkedIn can't be private.
Oh yeah, my bad.
No, but his can, because
My bad. My
yeah,
bad.
it's a flex.
Everything is private. Don't follow me anywhere. Thank you very much.
All right. And are you excited about anything moving forward in the podcast realm? What we tend to ask our listeners before they kind of take it away is, um, from this podcast, you've seen a little bit of an evolution. Is there something you want us to incorporate, add on, work on, or like in the content creation realm in general in India, which is changing now that we're getting a lot of like creator based businesses? I'm trying to like also get into that space. Basically,
Yeah.
that's where we're at, right? Online media properties is basically, I think, a realm that you understand well, since you're from the marketing landscape in general.
Absolutely, man.
Is there something that we need to look out for, keep our eye out on, or just some kind of creator that you're really excited about? It could be anywhere in the world.
Okay, so in India, one of my favorite podcasts is this, which is The Internet Said So.
Okay.
And I mean, if you know, if you're listening, then you can always check that podcast out. It's the most casual, and it's just four friends riffing, which I guess is like most podcasts.
Bakloli, huh?
Yeah, and I really enjoyed, even though it's very mainstream. It's not really niche or anything, but
Okay.
it's just a podcast I really enjoy just because it's super casual listening.
Nice.
And globally, I have a really not white, but I have a really basic bitch answer, which is um, Theo Vaughn's podcast. But dude, Joey Diaz is doing a reunion with who's that guy? Who's his producer? I forget his name. Um,
Joe Rogan's producer?
no, Joey Diaz is.
Joey Diaz, the comedian,
Yeah,
is doing a show with
I'm forgetting his producer's name.
his producer. Okay.
And so he used to have a podcast called The Church of What's Going On Now.
Right.
And
Right. Yes.
and I think they're starting again.
Okay, so
Yeah.
I am familiar with the Church of What's Going On, and Rogan was a part of it. And if I'm not wrong, which completely could be the case, but if that isn't the case, you can search for it and let us know in the comments if Joe Rogan was a part of this, and if the name of that producer, don't check it out, we'll leave that for the comment section,
But I want to
is
know.
Blue Ban. You can check it out for yourself, but we're going to let the viewers decide and let us know in the comments. And whoever reaches out to us in the comments, especially if they're listening,
Can I tell you who it is?
Off air.
Fine.
Because people who are listening right now are really committed to the ecosystem, and over time, when this hopefully clocks up more views and yada yada yada, these will be our real fans, and we will say Vaheguru to them.
Cheers.
So
cheers, man.
So leave it down in the comments, and if you want more insight, I'm gonna take a guess and say it could probably be Red Ban, who the producer was. You will not tell us; they have to guess.
Okay.
And I think that's the long and short of it here. We really enjoyed having you here in this wonderful studio. You've been through 2 studios now?
Yeah.
Third one hopefully should be the next time you come should be on private land which we own, and we can like shoot people outside there. Like that would be the ultimate flex, right?
Well, shoot people?
Yeah, like Texas में जैसे होता है कि मतलब हरियाणा में भी होता ऐसे होता होगा ना, मैं घर पे मत चढ़ो नहीं तो रॉटवाइलर चढ़ा देंगे, that kind of situation. Yeah. So I think
I like that, man. I like that idea.
Yeah, that's kind of the goal.
Uttar Pradesh में करेंगे next podcast.
Full. So I'm gonna take this opportunity to say thank you for listening. We value your eyes, your ears, and you can check out the Running Man wherever he wants you to be checked out, and he doesn't want you to be checked out. He doesn't want to be checked out and ogled at anywhere. So stay away from him. But we appreciate you coming on.
Yeah, thank you, man. Hopefully some plugs the next time I come.
Yeah, we would be excited to plug him for you.
Sure,
come back, keep tuning in, and we'll see you on the next one. Peace.